Oh, that's amazing. Just a couple of inches of a bounce off the cushion there. Just made that pot just a little bit difficult.
One.
Funny enough, that kiss is not too bad. Now, I know he'd probably take the pink to get the 6 points, but if it was an inch away from the cushion further, blue to get the red out would have been just as good. Might even played a cannoneer. Oh, he's kissed a lot of balls, and luckily the last kiss was in his favour, otherwise he might have been snookered.
7. Mark Williams, 7.
Well, it's a big target to try and get behind blue, green and brown here, but he's got to be careful of the red ball. Make sure he keeps that safe.
He's a little bit unlucky there because he's left enough red sticking out, and the fact that the brown's where it is, the red will stop exactly where it is now, and Mark should get a snooker. Well, the red's just sprung out a little bit. He's a little bit careless that he could have hit it a lot thinner. Now, has he been lucky? Has the brown come to his rescue? Not quite.
Played very, very well. Avoided the kiss on the yellow with the cue ball. Excellent shot. Oh, good hit from Mark Williams. Needs a little bit of luck. Has he got it? And here was the shot. Again, watched him just avoiding the yellow just by fractions and getting in behind the blue. Fantastic shot.
Well, Ronnie looking at the angle in the middle rather than in the corner, which means he's going to play up for the pink. The fact that the yellow's right over the pocket helps.
1.
So 7 in front, pink 13, up to and including the brown. So yellow to green appears to be the only real stumbling block from a 5-3 lead. Probably finishing right on the top cushion is the best way of getting on the yellow to make the green easier.
Yeah, if you can get somewhere, anywhere there with the cue ball, will be perfect for him. Just avoid the green. Doesn't want to hit the green full ball. Oh, wow. How careless is that? He had so much room to play with there, and well, it's unbelievable.
You'd have to say it's a little bit careless, really. Had a massive margin of error. I mean, he could have played it 2 cushions to take the green out of the equation.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
Oceans of side to Mr. Brown. Excellent. That was really tough to give Mr. Kiss on the brown. So Ronnie may get another chance obviously now. The 13-point lead is pretty good. It means obviously that Mark will need the black. Good hit. Ronnie had a very good chance of playing in an area, and that's what we talk about, areas. This is the shot he played first time on the pink where he kissed the green. We're going to get a chance in a couple of seconds, probably after Mark Williams' next shot, to show you what we think he could have played without taking the green out of the picture. Mark Williams is faced with a choice. Does he play the pot and play twice across for the green, or does he play a good safety shot? Well, he's took the pot on, needs a bit of good fortune. Has he got any? He has. Wow, this has been a strange game. But in fairness to snooker gods, sometimes, you know, when you miss a trick, this is the chance that Ronnie had. We'll show you after this shot. The fact that Ronnie had a very, very good chance on the pink to play a 2-cushion shot on to get position. Here's what we thought he should have played. That's the 1-cushion escape, but I'd have probably thought 2 cushions off the side cushion, the other side cushion, then on to the yellow.
Yeah, anywhere on that ball cushion he would have been perfect on the yellow, but looks like this yellow could be the telling ball in this frame.
When you consider their average shot time is 19 and 17 seconds, it's amazing that this session's going to take something like 3 hours to complete, because it's been very, very good snooker. It just shows you how good the safety's been in this match.
Two.
In all the places in all the world, you had to land there.
Mark Williams, 2.
This is one of those where you would need to hit it full ball. If you did half ball, both white and yellow and green come back at the table. You need to hit it full. But as he did half ball, that could have been the mistake that Mark's been hoping for. Has the green gone past? It has. Fortunate.
I can just say enough of this green. Can play it pretty hard because the green will just stop there, so he's going to try and snooker him using the brown here.
And he would want to get the black safe, wouldn't he? He'd want to put the black on the side cushion.
Thank you.
Not quite done either.
How costly will that fluke be? Particularly if you're a Mark Williams supporter. Does this brown pass the pink into the left centre? It's pretty close. It's very tight. Just having a look at it again. This may be a case, Willie, playing it for the fire jaw again. Dead weight. It's in.
7.
18 points ahead. 18 points left on the table.
Worth the pot in the middle, Ken, and just keep the white in the jaws, maybe?
No heroics with the blue. Is it there? It looks there. Good shot. Well, it's a shame for Mark Williams. Just for that fluke on the green. he would have had a chance to level at 4-all. But that fluke has proved costly, and Ronnie O'Sullivan will be absolutely delighted. He wins the final frame of this session and goes to a 5-3 lead into tomorrow.
Yes, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, and a terrific session. Really enjoyed it, John.
I thought it was a brilliant session. It had everything in it. Great match play, tactical play, break building. I thought it was a wonderful session. I thought Mark Williams played really, really well in there. Maybe you could have think 4-4 might have been fair, but you know, a wonderful session of snooker.
Yeah, but for that fluke. We were discussing a little while ago, just as we were watching the frame there, the fact that Mark Williams is quoted as saying that he's been working with Doug Mountjoy, who plays in the same club as him. And they've been working on a few things, he says. Have you any idea what that might be, Steve?
I don't know. Playing snooker. I think it's always nice to have another player who sort of really does understand the problems that you face, not just on the table in practice, but also have played at a competitive level. It's nice to have a friend in your corner like that. So probably the most important. Technique-wise, he's not said anything to us, so we don't really know. But he looks in great shape. But as John says, great session. Ronnie O'Sullivan, though, looks in excellent shape. And Stephen Hendry, who came into the studio and said, you know, there are other players in the event who have got a good shout in this. He is one of the players who can destroy anybody on the table. I know we've talked about his demeanour. Is that, for you, the key component which has improved in the last, well, let's say 4 or 5 months, John?
Absolutely, yes. I think it's the most important thing. When he turns up and he's tuned in and he wants to play, well, the amount of talent he's got, unquestioned. It's just his application sometimes. If it's all there together, an absolute handful. Yeah,
Dr. Steve Peters is the man, of course, that he started to work with, the sports psychiatrist as he is, very eminent man, just before this championship last year, and of course he got to the quarter-finals, and I think that work with him over the last few months seems to be paying dividends. Certainly much calmer about the table these days, isn't he, Steve?
Yes, and as we said earlier, at the risk of repeating myself and ourselves, never a problem with Ronnie O'Sullivan on the table. He's match played, but sometimes perhaps the temperament is the only question. Yeah. If he gets that right, then he's the full article of the game.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we've had 2 blockbuster matches this afternoon. In fact, 4 fellows who between them had 16 world titles and counting so far, because the other was the Higgins against Hendry match. 11 world titles between them, and it was this fella, John Higgins, who has lost. He's the defending champion. And John, he capitulated in the end, 13 frames to 4. A very surprising scoreline. John, not happy. Stephen, of course, delighted. Let's hear from them both.
I think if someone had said before you're going to win 13-4 against John Higgins, I would have said they've obviously been having a bit too much to drink. But you know, I mean, last night, I mean, I was fortunate in the fact that that's probably the worst John Higgins has ever played at the Crucible.
I felt Stephen was hitting the ball great, best I'd seen him hit it in a long time, and I was getting myself ready for a great game, hopefully. But I could have nicked the first frame of the evening session, and I missed. I overcut a black, and then from then on, it was torture.
I'm just delighted to be in the quarter-final. I think it's the first time I've won 2 matches in a row in an event at the venue for God knows how long, so I'm really happy.
Torture, says John Higgins, and it must be for a man who is, of course, so decorated and so full of fight. Just wasn't happening for him, particularly in that session last night, John.
No, not at all. I think he probably needs to put his cue in the case and just forget about snooker for a while and have a really good break. I think I asked you before, it's something like 25th of June or something before he's got to play again. Obviously he'll have to be prepared for that when it starts, but he could just do with having a complete break. He looked tired to me right at the start of this tournament, and he played like it yesterday.
But by contrast, Stephen Hendry, a complete new lease of life, and a little bird told me that in his qualifier against Yu Dalu, he seemed to find something, and the word was at that point his confidence really began to grow at that point. I don't know what it is, Stephen, but it's one of these things, isn't it? When you get something, just that little spark seems to push you forward.
Yes, but I think we've been seeing the sort of the green shoots and all of those words coming throughout the season, and at the risk of being totally cliched, form is temporary, class is permanent. At some stage we thought he was